stimmt, das wäre jetzt. Ja? Okay. Ja, klingt so, ja. Gut, ihr sagt mir Bescheid, ja? Okay. Welcome to the Cluster Science of Intelligence. Also from my side, I want to give you an introduction to our scientific program. My name is Krause, and I'm one of the PIs in this cluster. Here you can see the founding PIs of our cluster, 21 of them. In the meantime, some PIs have left us, new PIs have come, but this picture is simply a reminder that this is a collective scientific effort by many scientists from many different subject areas. We sit in the heart of Berlin in the Marktstraße, very close to the universities. In fact, at the Technical University, but also close to the Humboldt University. And the central objective of our program here is to understand what the principles of intelligence are, regardless of whether this is biological or artificial intelligence. And we want to use our understanding of these principles to create intelligent technology, and we want to do so in an ethical way. So these are the three pillars of our approach: understanding intelligence, using it for intelligent technology, and doing this ethically. Our definition of intelligence is behavior-based. So we think of behavior as intelligent if it has a number of characteristics. So if it is adaptable, goal-oriented, cost-effective, and so on. And very importantly, it has to be possible to perform this behavior in the real world. And for this, we do research on what we call the analytic and the synthetic side. So people study natural systems, they get insights into them, and they try to synthesize some of the principles of these systems in form of robots, for example. And this then provides predictions for going deeper into the study of these natural systems. And in a way, this follows what Feynman stated, namely that what I cannot create, I do not understand. So we want to create actual artifacts that can exhibit intelligent behavior. And I want to give you an example from my own research lab. So we study collective intelligence in fish that live in schools. We study their interactions, so this is on the analytic side, and then we use these insights for creating fish robots that are capable of interactions with live fish. From this we can derive new insights into how collective behavior in fish and collective intelligence in these systems work, and we can then utilize this again for making more sophisticated robots and, for example, advanced swarm robotics. The general idea behind all of these interactions between the analytic and the synthetic side is that they deepen our insight into intelligence in general, and as a symbol here we have the spiral going upwards, sort of going deeper, refining our understanding as we go along. Can you switch on the video, please, or is it on already?
You can just click.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay, so here you see an interaction between a live fish and an interactive robotic fish. The robot initially tries to initiate a direction, but the fish isn't responding, so it's returning to recruit the live fish Then after a little while, a connection between them is made, and then they happily swim through the tank together, and we then speed it up to show you that this link is maintained for quite a while. And this is just an example of some of this, how this research works. This clearly takes fish biologists on the one side and roboticists on the other. Upsala, go one back. So we have 4 research units in our cluster. In the first one, we look at synthesizing intelligent behavior in terms of individual behavior, social behavior, social intelligence, and collective intelligence. And I will explain this a little bit more in a moment. In our second research unit, we look at principles of intelligence that can be generalized across different case studies. Then we have a research unit where scientists try to address general bottlenecks for our research projects by creating synthetic artifacts that can help us with our everyday research. And then finally, we have the sociological and philosophical framing of our activities, and I will explain that a little more at the end. So when we look at individual intelligence, we chose an example behavior. Here, the escape room challenge. So whoever works on individual intelligent behavior, they are meant to do this with keeping this example behavior in mind. And we have these example behaviors so that different research projects aim to solve similar problems. And this then helps us with finding principles across different projects. The second example behavior is learning and teaching, interactions between 2 or more individuals in that context. And the third one is collective intelligence, and we picked here the example behavior of shepherding, so shepherds and their shepherd dogs that direct flocks of sheep. So these examples shouldn't be taken too literally. I mean, on collective intelligence, I already showed you, we make fish robots and the likes. So there is a high level of abstraction, of course. In the second research unit on the principles, we look at regularities across different behaviors that remain valid. And examples of these are known trade-offs of exploration and exploitation, or modularity and integration, and so on. And there are 2 directions in which this can go. So bottom-up would be that we look at different intelligent behaviors and we see what they have in common, or we can go top-down and we can identify a solution to a common problem and try and fit it to different behaviors in different study systems. In our third research unit, I mentioned this, we come up with novel synthetic tools. To give you an example, many of us use video recordings of, for example, cockatoos opening a lockbox or mice opening a lockbox, fish swimming in tanks. And one of our common challenges is to track these individuals in these videos to get their position in space and time, and also in some cases their specific postures indicating specific activities. So this is a common challenge for almost everybody using the video analysis approach, and then we have people who specialize on making progress with particular aspects of such tracking problems. Another example is the robotic hand in Oliver Brock's research group. Many projects that are to do with robots manipulating objects require a capable robotic hand that can perform these manipulations, and they have designed this soft robotic hand that can do this. Yeah, last comes the sociological and philosophical framing. So here we have sociologists and philosophers in our cluster working alongside the people in engineering, biology, and psychology. And here the challenge is to, first of all, advance our definition of what intelligence actually is, and also identify ethical problems that arise from us creating intelligent technology, and to look at potential interactions between technology we create and humans that might later on use it, and we try to anticipate ethical problems that might arise in this context. And the idea is that we identify such problems before they actually go into the real world, so we try to anticipate them and address them. And this requires a close dialogue between those people who create these new technologies and objects and the philosophers who help us then address and deal with these challenges. Okay, and my final slide is on the Humboldt Forum, which was already mentioned earlier. So this is a new museum in Berlin, one of the latest. It has about 800,000 visitors per year. Entry, I think, is still for free. I don't know for how much longer. But if you are in Berlin or visiting Berlin, I can highly recommend you go there. You can see a number of installations from different excellence clusters in Berlin, and we are one of them. And Pavel Romanchuk, for example, has helped create the big curtain with the interactive fish school on it. David Bierbach has showcased our robotic fish, and Ralf Kövers a nice estimation game. Yeah, and with this, I thank you for your attention, and if you have questions for me, please let me know. Okay.